Out Show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, The Green Law Firm, personal injury attorney, Magnolia Wealth Strategies, a Mass Mutual firm, Moe's Pizza, Lance's AC and Heating, CC's Children Blocks, The Pierre Family in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, the sports guy. And guess what? Week 1 of high school football here in the state of Louisiana starts Thursday. Yes, indeed. And you know, the Hash It Out game of the week that we will be streaming live video is John Eric versus Chalmette. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But you guys know I can't do this without my two co-hosts that you can catch on CrescentCitySports.com. I'll start with the one and only VK Jones. What's going on, VK?
Good evening, everybody. Like, tag, share, and subscribe to the Hash It Out Show. All social media platforms. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Log on to the HashItOutShow.com. And we're finally at the point of the season. We're getting started. Your favorite time of the year. High school football. College football already going. NFL starting this week. Man, this is a great time to be a sports fan in the state of Louisiana. Let's get it going.
Hell yeah. And then we got the one, the only, George Peppers. What's up, GP?
What's up, gentlemen? And yeah, to piggyback, we went through the summer months to this point. Week 1 of high school is is on its way. Thursday night, to be exact. We will be at Haas-Memphis Stadium Thursday night talking about the Chalmette Owls making a return trip to take on my alma mater, the John Eric Patriots. And before we start, Jared, I just want to make sure that my co-host, my esteemed co-host, is in good standing after last night. I just want to make sure that his mental faculties are intact and that he's not suffering from any depression. Jordan, what's up, bro? How you doing, sir? Yeah, it's week 1 of the high school season. Looking forward to catching some of your show, too, Under the Lights, and your Under the Lights game of the week. Y'all do a great job. Keep up the good work. But VK, I'm just worried about you, bro. I mean, 28 to 13.
He's good. I promise you, he is fine. He is fine.
I know.
I promise you. He was worse last year when they didn't make the playoffs. He's fine.
Oh, I was too. I was too. I mean, you know, you had a little stake in the action, and you know, you see Alabama's name pop up instead of Florida State. It's like, damn, just that fast. You know, that was cruelty. Just
what's up, Coach Patrick Sam? What it do? What's going on, Coach Patrick Sam? Hey, here you go, VK. Some love from Alston Tyler. Some love for you. There you go.
And they'll be 3-0 in 2 weeks' time, just so y'all know. Look at the schedule. They'll win the next 2.
They might, but look, you're getting his love. Kenny Ramonde, so give him a love too. That Vanderbilt win, yeah. Hey,
I'm like this.
Got me some money too.
I'm like this. The Vanderbilt win. I'm gonna say this before we go forward. Very fortunate for them to get the win. Clark League was this close to blowing it, but for them to bounce back and did what they did to force overtime and win the game. Amazing stuff from Vanderbilt. Could be big things going forward. We will see. But I'm very happy for the Commodores that did what they did on Saturday.
We
Look,
definitely
DJ leaving me out, y'all.
Yeah, I know he left you out, George. I don't
See
know what
that, huh?
happened.
Look at that.
But what's up? What's up,
Man.
DJ 13 baby? What's happening, baby? What's going on, man? All right. So we're gonna talk high school football a little later on. Not too much later on, but a little later on. Talk about the jamborees that we went to, and probably some of the jamborees we saw on TV, and then get into some of the upcoming games that's happening Thursday and Friday in the area and throughout the state. Just give a little detail about it, not too much. But other than that, let's start with what we saw Sunday night. LSU loses to USC 27-20. And I'm going to start off by saying it. I sat here on this show and told y'all my biggest question mark are the defensive backs for LSU. And once again, it bit them in their behinds, in my opinion. Could we say the defense was better than what we saw last year? Yeah, I will sit here and say yes, it was better, but they still can't cover anybody. Not at all. It's the Achilles heel right now, and they have to get that fixed because any team gonna come in here and be able to throw on them. And you got Ole Miss in a month. Jackson Dart is gonna light you up inside of Death Valley if y'all don't fix these issues of being able to defend and cover wide receivers. Offensively, they did wonderful. Nussmeier was phenomenal. He did a great job. When John Emery came in the game, I was like, oh my God, he is unstoppable. They should have kept running John Emery. And in the first quarter to go for it, I understand it, but I think you should have just took the points. You should have took the points right then and there. Because you lost a lot of momentum when you didn't convert on fourth down and get that touchdown. So that's my point. The main thing, you let Moss from USC, and he looked good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking nothing away from Moss, but the DBs got to do better. And that to me was the worst part of the whole game with LSU. A game that LSU should have won. Should have won. I sat here and told you I wasn't sold on those DBs for LSU. I wasn't. And I'm still not. And to see some people say that, yeah, man, these DBs, they were solid. What game did you watch? What game did you watch that they were solid? I'm waiting to see them to be. I'm waiting to see them be solid. I'm waiting to say, hey, they can say that they DBU again. They can't even say that right now. And I know it's not Corey Raymond's players, but Corey Raymond is the DB coach now, and he got to get that fixed. VK.
I definitely agree. I absolutely agree. And you're dead on right for what you said last week. And I did say that both teams
What
gonna
up,
get
Speed
tested.
Martin? I see you, baby. Speed Martin. Go ahead, VK.
Both teams are gonna be tested. And I tell you, man, a lot of mistakes on mostly, both sides were mostly on the defensive side in the secondary. It was ridiculous. It was unbelievable, especially the last drive. The last drive, the coverage was soft and the corners. All it reminded me of, and I still ain't forget this, and I gotta go way back. The Rose Bowl, Arizona State and Ohio State, of how Joe Germain just sliced and diced down the field. Not knocking Joe Germain he's not a bad quarterback, but knowing Arizona State's defense and looking at the coverage, too soft. What are you doing? You got to do something to get pressure on the quarterback for one. They got to work on that, and the defensive coordinator has a very much improved defense. I'm going to give him that. But they need to send some kind of a blitz to get some kind of pressure on that quarterback. But that secondary itself, the corners are not good. And maybe the coverage should have been tighter. I don't know. I think it maybe should have been tighter. But the coverage was soft for one. And two, the safety and the corners could not cover that one pass. So how in the world did that receiver get that ball? And then on top of that, the safety makes a mistake and causes a personal foul. And that's another thing too. And I kind of put that a little bit on Brian Kelly. Too many critical penalties in that ball game. Too many.
10
They
penalties,
got
100 yards.
and they got to fix that. They have to fix that. Kyron Lacey, good game. I'm gonna give you that. Help my fantasy team. Good job. But that dumbness you did in the end zone, you need to cut that out now. Plain and simple. I was wondering what I'm like, he's dancing, celebrating. All of a sudden they come back to the replay and they're outlawing that. You can't do that type of stuff. You gotta think. And I'm telling you now, Ryan Kelly, and I can see why he was upset. And I completely understand why he went off.
Why he
Because
went off? He upset.
because
That loss on him.
it is. No, I'm not saying it's not. But I can understand why he was upset. Some people like he throwing the team. He has a right to, because it's the fact it was his fault. But at the same time, he just knew one thing with his team, and he told his team on the sideline, it's a 4-quarter game, and we got to finish things off, and they did not finish. LSU got to find a way to finish, and most likely we see what the weakness is on the team, but we know LSU has just got to get better. Of course, they're gonna bounce back this Saturday. Look at the hell they playing, but at the same exactly. But at a team that could have been 1-0 on Saturday, just to be real. We'll talk about that in a minute. But at the same time, for LSU going forward, and I'm telling you, I don't care what Corey Raymond got to do. I think he's going to do what he can to make the adjustments. And not just that, if some of these guys, and Saturday is going to be a huge test for the secondary again a little bit, because of the fact of the matter is, if Corey Raymond sees any screw ups, somebody getting benched. Somebody about to shit. And their change is about to be made. Because the changes has got to be made these next couple of weeks, especially some more stiff competition coming for the LSU Tigers.
All right, before we get Jordan here, two things I want to say. Number one, Allison Tyler says, thanks Sage Ryan playing out of position. Bruh, he's been safety, he's been cornerback, he just can't produce. And I had a conversation with someone that maybe he should have left LSU and tried to go play somewhere else. Because right now at LSU, he just can't produce at any position he's playing at. It just ain't working for him. Number two, that last pass play before the touchdown for USC for them to win the game, it was a cover 2 zone. And if you're a cornerback, you got to force the receiver inside, not outside in a cover 2 zone. Force him in. That mistake was made when the receiver got to the outside. If they force him in, it's probably an interception. You got to remember that. But go ahead, GP. Your turn, buddy.
Where do I start? Because I was the one person that I thought LSU would handle USC pull away in a pull away fashion, not blow out like 30 points. I said it would be a methodical pull away in the second half. That's what I saw. In the first quarter of that game, what you guys did not mention, and I can't believe you didn't bring this up, LSU possessed the ball over 12 minutes in the first quarter. They had the ball 12 minutes to 3. So time-wise, I was like, okay, this is good. The problem was, at the end of that first quarter, I turned to my brother and my dad, who watched the game with me, and we were bouncing between that and the last NASCAR regular season race of the season. Now the playoffs start there next week. I turned to them, I said, I'm in trouble. I said, I can tell you right now, I'm in a world of trouble. Because they went for it on 4th down. What were you thinking, Brian Kelly? I did not agree with that decision at all. I don't even understand it. I'm sorry. Take the points against an SC team. And yeah, here's what we forgot, what most forgot. And I didn't forget, but I just thought LSU would be methodical. Miller Moss against the top 20 defense in the Holiday Bowl last year, Louisville, scorched them for 6 touchdowns. 6. And Louisville's defense was ridiculously good. VK, you know this. They gave Florida State all kind of problems in the ACC championship. Those cats could play. They flew to the ball, and Moss torched them. But back to the game. The run blocking was atrocious. That shocked me, that they ran block horribly in that game. What Emory did was gave them a spark, and I can't believe he got token carries. To me,
I bet
that's
you
your
he starts.
feature
I
back.
bet you he starts Saturday.
Oh,
I bet you.
absolutely.
I bet you he
Yes.
starts Saturday.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed. Yes,
Yes.
indeed. And you mentioned they play nickels, and yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Emery is not a token back. He is a guy that you feed that pill to 25 times a game. He is that dude. He is 100% healthy. He showed you leg drive. He showed you speed. He showed you strength. That dude in the carries that he got made things happen. Now we talk about the DBs. What can I say that hasn't been said? But I'll say what hasn't been said about that exactly. What hasn't been said. Play the man, not the ball. Watch your guy. Watch his eyes. Turn when he turns. Jump when he jumps. Stop gambling. That's what LSU was doing in that game. And SC's speed, USC's got speed. Number one, I forgot his name, and then Moats did some damage to. No, VK made me do that. I'm playing. I'm playing. Yeah, I actually wanted to make a change, but their DBs were gambling bad in that game, VK. To me, I thought, they were jumping for balls and SC. The one pass that got there, the miracle pass, I think was that in the second quarter or the first quarter? The one where Miller Moss threaded the needle. That was in the second quarter.
Second quarter.
I
Second
looked,
quarter.
I was like, and then that they went to a review. I'm like, hmm, damn, we caught it. How the hell did that ball get there? That's the frustration of it. Look, I'm not. That's not my team. LSU's not my favorite team, and whatnot. Garrett Nussmeier, for the questions that were asked about him, he was efficient. I don't think he was phenomenal. I think he was efficient. I think that would be the more accurate description for me. He only missed 6 passes on the night. The interception he threw was at the end of the game when they were trying to make hay. 8 seconds ago, what could you do, right? Throw it up and pray. And it didn't happen. SC, credit to Lincoln Riley's team. They really stayed with the plan. They used their strengths better than LSU did. And that the last thing I want to say about the game itself, to the look, if you want to see raw reaction, go look up T-Bob Abear. Holy cow, that thing Sunday night. Whoo! I'm not repeating anything that man said because we are a family show, but talk about authentic and real. You got it in spades. I don't know, Jared. I know you saw it because I saw it. I clicked that link and did I watch it? Him, Matt Moscona, and I forgot who the third dude was in there. But boy, you talk about raw reaction. Literally raw reaction. But for me, LSU, the fans, the fans that were popping off on social media about, well, Brian Kelly's got to get fired. Brian Kelly's got. Who are you going to get? You don't want to whack the man after one game, man. Stop all that. This is why some LSU fans, not all, some, are pompous idiots. Pompous idiots. Y'all want to whack the guy. The dude is a winning machine, Brian Kelly. All right. They're going to bounce back. They are going to bounce back. Think LSU, they got Nichols this week, and I think South Carolina next, right? I want to say it's the Gamecocks on the road. They better get their P's and Q's right because guess what? This could be a very tough season. And Jared, you mentioned Ole Miss coming in a month. Jackson Dart
Yeah,
is an NFL prospect, a top 5, top 10 guy.
Georgia.
He's gonna lick his lips when he sees LSU's defense and say, "Oh, looky here, Ole Miss might go for 500 passing yards if LSU's defensive backs don't get their mind right." But
And
at the end of what's that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
No, I was going to finish. I would say at the end of the day, you are what you are. You're 0-1. Nichols should be a win, but you know what? Those Colonels should be 1-0. Louisiana Tech showed you how subpar they are. Nichols should have won that game. They had every chance to. They didn't. LSU's going to beat them because their talent is just that superior. But I need to see, if I'm an LSU fan, I need their DBs to play smarter. I need John Emery on the field to get 20 to 25 carries in this game, 20 carries in this game, because they'll have the outcome well in hand. And Nussmeier just needs to be that dude. And, you know, it was frustrating to watch. It's like, man, the superior team lost that football game, Jared. Really. To
Let me
me, I think
let
they
me
were the better team.
Yeah, they were a better team. But let me get in here, because we still got another topic to talk about. But quickly on Nichols, I'm just gonna sit here and say it. It's gonna be a beatdown. It's gonna be a beatdown. I don't think they're gonna be tested at all. It's gonna be a win for LSU to bounce back. They'll beat South Carolina, and I think they'll beat UCLA. UCLA lost to Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii's.
Wow.
Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii
So
beat them.
so I see LSU winning these next 3 games, and then here comes Ole Miss. But I got them beating Nichols. Go ahead, VK, quickly on Nichols.
I think Nichols is going to be a beatdown more than anything else. They should win the next 3. I ain't gonna lie, the South Carolina game, regardless of the fact that could be a classic trap game, because I'm telling you now, South Carolina steps up at home, so that's a classic trap game. But LSU should win. South Alabama might not be an easy turn. We'll see what happens.
They'll
But at the
beat them.
same time, it's progress.
They beat them too.
Yeah, they'll get them.
Hey, I'm like this, bro. That's a good program. I'm saying, it's a good
The athletes
program.
I wish you got.
They don't, but at the same time, I'm not underestimating it. We've seen it in the past that LSU has one of these freaking bump in the road games that it ain't perfect. Just saying though, because this LSU coming out with a bumpy start like that can happen. So I'm not underestimating it. That's
All
just
right.
me.
Let's move
move forward.
on to Florida State. And you guys know VK is a big time Florida State fan. Things not looking too good for Florida State so far this year. Are they cursed since they didn't get into the playoffs last year? Lost to Georgia in a major bowl game, lost to Georgia Tech, and now they've lost to Boston College. DJ Uga has not been impressive. And at the same time, the offensive line for Florida State has not been impressive either. That's the main 2 things that I've seen. And Mike Norvell is going to have to do something eventually. O-line got to get better. Switch to another quarterback if Uga is not producing. I mean, I really think Uga went to Florida State just to try to get back at Clemson. That is the only thing I can think of. You know, he didn't have a bad year at Oregon State, but Oregon State is still in the Pac-12 with one of the teams, so I can understand. I got to get out of here. But other than that, I think that's what I think. That's my personal opinion. But that O-line and the and him, it's bad. It's bad right now. That's the main concern for Florida State. Defensively, you saw yesterday they had trouble with Georgia Tech. They had problems. We're good, Judge. We're good, George. We're good. We're here. It popped up, but it's gone. We're good, Judge.
Okay.
Don't panic. But VK,
never panicking.
VK, you are a FSU fan. Give us your thoughts right quick.
All around problems. We're going from up front offensively. I've never seen offensive line that bad since DeAndre Francois was at quarterback, and just was horrible blocking. DJ, I wish he would have never signed at Florida State. It's just ridiculous of what we're seeing right now as a fan. What I seen yesterday was freaking torture. It was just torture. And I don't know what's going on. And I think we got more than 1 or 2, 3 stadiums full that got construction right now, because we can't have a full damn stadium.
I think y'all working on that section.
Yeah, they're working on the section.
Okay.
They're working on that. Right. Memphis got some work going on at their home. ULL got some construction going on. So I think everything's going to rebuilding process. But regardless of the fact, it is what it is. But the fact of the matter is, it was torture yesterday. The defense is bad for Florida State. And I'm sorry, man. And the thing is, Florida State fans, they're going crazy. I don't blame them. The thing is, let's be real. Florida State lost multiple starters, and that's what we're looking at right now. The inexperience is showing.
Yes.
So that's just what it is right now. And for Mike Norvell, he's gonna be on notice right now. The Memphis game is bigger. Keep telling you, a former team of his might come and take him out.
They might now. Yeah. How are we looking at it now? You might be right. Davian, we can't answer that because we are broadcasting and streaming the John Everett versus Chalmette game. So we can't tell you who's going to win out of those two. George Peppers.
I said this in our chat last night, and I'm going to just be blunt. I've seen efforts that were listless, and to me, all around, Florida State looked jet lagged, and they just had no get off at all defensively. There was no snap, there was no urgency. Ualegi, there's a reason why he's on his third school in college. There's a reason that he's at his third school: Clemson, Oregon State, now Florida State, right? And I made the joke to VK that they would go from undefeated to winless, but that's not going to happen. Um, but I want to address, yeah, she's not that comment, but I want to know what the heck are you talking about how Florida State acted in the bowl game when nobody was even on the field for them? What are you talking about?
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Okay,
He thinks the ones who opted out and decided not to play should have played. That's what he's saying.
well, that I
That's what he
agree.
means.
That I agree, but when you get shafted out of a playoff, and we said this ad nauseum when it happened, Florida State should have played Michigan. They would have lost, but Michigan would have put them on blast, and that'd have been finished. But that being said, and no, not saying it as a Wolverines fan, but you see, Michigan had the team of destiny look last year, and they did it. But for Florida State, I thought the effort all around was listless. I just saw a team that had no jump, no energy. The offensive line, you mentioned how bad it was. And, they're going to try to say, well, DJ needs time. Well, he does, but what has he done at Clemson and Oregon State? Well, what has he done at those two schools? Nothing, nothing, to be honest with you. To me, Florida State, I don't know who they got this week. I don't know if they play this week. I know the Memphis game is coming up. I think it's in 2 weeks' time, I want to say. But they better get going real quick because all of a sudden, Jared, Miami's looking mighty, mighty good for that ACC, aren't they? I mean,
Man,
what they did to Billy Napier, I think they're giving Billy Napier's walking papers soon. I mean, that was humiliation in its 100th degree, what Miami did. And that might be the best team in the ACC from what I saw Saturday. And Cam Ward, he's that dude. They finally got a quarterback with spark and asked Florida how they liked it Saturday. They didn't. Miami was one of my best picks of the weekend.
can y'all imagine Florida State and Florida playing each other and not having stellar records? That'd be crazy. But what I do want to say before we go to our commercial break, um, Sonny Cumby at Louisiana Tech, I think this is gonna be his final year. I think Billy Napier will get let go at Florida. But something is telling me Billy Napier returns home to Louisiana and becomes the next head coach at Louisiana Tech. I gotta feel it. I gotta feel it. But we
I'm a,
will see.
let,
Go
let
ahead,
me let me
DK.
say this final thing right here. For one thing, for sure, Mike Norvell, I think going into Memphis, you better make changes. If you see something wrong on that field from jump, you better make changes. I'm very, very disappointed in Norvell. I love him, but I'm disappointed. You got outcoached by freaking retread and Bill O'Brien. So I'm not happy with that at all. Bill O'Brien makes me itch sometimes because he shouldn't be coaching, period. He could be an assistant coach somewhere, fine. Head coach, come on, it's not proven. Okay, you got the talent from the coach. So that's all it is. So big ups to Boston College. But I'm going to say this right now to you Miami fans out there. University of Miami, you might have the best team in Florida because Florida, state of Florida might be weak this year for the first time in a long freaking time. We got to see what UCF and all these other teams got. But
I
Miami,
think Florida got UCF this weekend.
we got to see what UCF got. I know if Florida A&M up to a nice start. But for Miami, this is your freaking year. This is your year. Mario Cristobal, if you're going to prove that you that coach, you better do it this year. Because if you
If they don't
don't,
win,
you're going to freaking feel it from everybody.
if they don't win the ACC, Mario Cristobal will be fired. If I'm the AD with that team, Mario Cristobal, if they don't win the ACC with as down as it looks, because
Right.
Clemson got skull drugged by Georgia, you know, and Florida State is not doing well. The ACC as a whole, I mean, BC's improved, Georgia Tech's improved, but
He won't be
this is
fired.
Miami's conference.
Yeah.
He won't be fired.
Dude,
He won't be
if
fired for
they
them.
stink it up, if they finish 8-4, 7-5, he will be.
The most important thing is ACC, but not just that. The Florida State Championship. You beat the Gators. Now you gotta beat
them.
the
They
Noles.
killed them.
He will.
Now you gotta beat the Noles.
He will. All right. Cheese says Miami's going 9-3. They will lose at least 1 or 2 games. They aren't supposed to, as always. We will see. We will see. We will see. All right. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back and get onto some high school jamborees we saw and talk about some games popping off here in week 1 right here on the Hash It Out Show.
I'm Coach Ramirez Page, the head football coach at John F. Kennedy High School, and you watching the Hash It Out Show. I'm Coach Ramirez Page.
Welcome to Bayou AV Security. My name is Rusty Mathern, proud owner and operator. We specialize in providing top-notch audio solutions, advanced security cameras, reliable internet services, and stunning permanent holiday lighting. At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs, whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces. We've got you covered. We are locally owned and conveniently located on the West Bank. As a fully licensed business, we take pride in delivering quality service you can trust. You can see our exceptional work showcased in the parade of homes. Experience the Bayou difference firsthand. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy. We got VK Jones and George Peppers. I don't know where George Peppers went, but where you at, George Peppers? You fell off?
I hope not.
Oh, Lord.
I know he had a long break. So
yes, indeed. Hopefully we get George Peppers back in here. Up there he is. Welcome back, George Peppers. All right, guys. So let's get to some high school jamborees that we went to, and that was the Ed Daniels Classic that we went to. And I want to start off with the last game, which was the Archbishop Shaw Eagles taking on the St. Augustine Purple Knights. And as y'all can see right there, we got it playing. All right. So I'm going to go first. St. Augustine has been impressive, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen them scrimmage Destrehan. I saw them play Shaw in his Jamboree. They have been very, very impressive. You got to give credit to Coach Valdez and his coaching staff for the job they have done. And the new Sports Writers of Louisiana poll came out, and St. Augustine is ranked number 10. Maybe they saw something before we saw something, VK. But anyway, defensively, I think that's the best D line in the state. Period. From what I've seen, because they have been dominant. Jakeem Stewart has been unblockable. Offensively, I love the scheme that they have. I love it. You got Tig more like a game manager, but he's a smart game manager. And when there have been some deep shots, he's taking it. Like here, just hasn't been accurate. Something he got to work on. The run game with St. Aug has been great. The O-line has blocked well. What we have seen from St. Augustine has been tremendous. I must say, I wasn't expecting it so early, but it has been working. You have to give St. Augustine all the credit in the world. Now, I'll go to the team that they dominated, who they beat 20-7. That is Archbishop Shaw. And right now, Shaw has some work to do if they expect to get to the dome. Number one, they got to get mean. They got to get more physical. St. Augustine, to me, went into Memphis Stadium and straight up punked Archbishop Shaw. I said it. They may not like it, but I said it. They got punked by St. Augustine. Straight up. That they got to get mean. They got to get more physical. Number two, the DBs got beat deep a lot. That got to get fixed, and I know it will. Number three, tackling. Got to tackle better. You got to tackle better. Number four, defensively, linebackers got to have gap assignment. You got to have gap assignment. You can't miss the gap the way you're supposed to be make a tackle. That happened too many times. So it was too many mistakes. And they have to get that fixed if they are going to go to state. VK.
Everything you said, very, very much on the money. Everything you said, and big time props to you to just use your unbiasedness.
Division 2 cheese.
I'm like this. I appreciate you with the unbiasedness right there.
That's my job.
Especially, with talking about your alma mater and everything, and for, it's very shocking. I'm saying it again, shocking and impressed myself with the Purple Knights. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very humbled about it. It gives the Purple Knights a lot of hope. The one thing I've seen from a lot of social media, and I think the alumni starting to really believe in Coach Valdez, because Coach Valdez told the alumni that he believes that offensive line will be in a three-point stance, even in the shotgun, and run the football, which you've seen out there. And they are running the ball besides throwing it. A good mix that they're putting up in there. How the defense is being very aggressive and everything else. It's a great all-aroundness. The only thing that they have to work on is special teams. Like, the punt team is not bad at all what they've seen. They're doing a good job there. But the extra point field goals is going to be the bugaboo. And they're going to have to really fix it and fix that quickly if they're going to have a chance in the district and a chance at a deep run in the playoffs. But so far, I like what I see early, but we're going to see how they put it to the field, especially these first couple weeks of the season. And would I be surprised St. Aug might be 3-0 before they go there in the car? I guess I'm going to say Warren Easton in week 4. I wouldn't be surprised they might go that way. But at the same time, it's week for week to see what happens, and knowing Coach Valdez, nothing's perfect, but he wants to see how his team can rise to the occasion, because you have to think from the scrimmage, they did really well. They rose another level in the jamboree. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens Saturday against McDonald 35.
Yeah, I'm trying to go there. Cheese, I'll be there. Come holler at me. I'll be at the Shaw LCA game in Lafayette. So come holler at me. GP, your thoughts about St. Augustine and Archbishop Shaw?
It was the game that, the ebbs and flows of that game for me. Watching St. Aug, going into that game, what you guys were telling me what they did to extra hand in the scrimmage, I was like, okay, you got me intrigued. And VK was giving me a little bit of business on that sideline in that game, talking about, see that guy for Sean Coulon, the quarterback. He's like, us for Sean's are winners, boy. Us for Sean's are winners. and all that. He was messing with me and all that. But I told him and I told you, and I'm gonna say it on the show. That young man's got a very live arm. He's got to dial it down a little bit. He was overthrowing receivers that were open. Your DBs were out of position a couple of times in that game. There were
More than a
spots
couple.
where their dudes were a yard and a half ahead of you, and Coulon put too much pepper on that football. Dial it down, and this is not 20-7. It's way worse, way worse.
Yeah, it should have been
And
way worse.
it should have been, but it wasn't. And
Right.
your running back, VK, is it Bell? I think number 5, the one that broke the long run.
Actually, that was Caston who broke the run. There was different numbers they
Caston.
wore. So Caston,
The
Yeah, it was
speed, the
Lyondale,
speed,
right?
Mindale, yep.
Yeah.
Maya Bell, yeah. The speed they have, St. Aug offensively is really, really, really good. Um, Defensive line against Shaw's offensive line, Jakeem Stewart and company did some work in that game. They did some work on the O line of Shaw. Shaw, there's no shame in going against that guy. That dude is a legit D1 prospect. He looks it, he plays like it, and he's gonna be it. Boy, he would look good in Ann Arbor. Just saying, VK, help me out here. Get Jakeem to Michigan. And Jasper Parker was held in check in that game, was he not? I mean, I don't think he had any get off runs in that game at all. I mean, there was a few token runs that he had, but St. Aug really did a number on him. And I asked Coach Valdez after the game, I said, to me, the true maturation of a team is what you do after two resounding statements in games that don't count on the record. You got McDonough 35 on Saturday, a team you dropped 70 plus on last year. How mature is St. Aug? If the maturation is what I think it can be, that game ain't going to be close. Because 35 doesn't have the horses to match St. Aug. Shaw didn't. Dexterhand didn't. Do you really think Mac 35's got it? No. I mean, just being honest, St. Augustine's purpose in that game is to dominate. And if they go out there and do what they've done the last two, um, man, get out of here with that DJ. Stop it. Cut that noise out, bro. Cut that noise out. But talking all that foolishness. But no, VK. I mean, I know you're an alumnus, and I get the neutrality you're showing and staying humble. That's a beautiful thing. I wish I could say the same thing about who we're going to talk about next. But with that said, St. Augustine opened eyes for me. To me, I thought, like I told you guys, I'm intrigued to see because you guys really glowed about how they looked at Destrehan. And at Destrehan, that's never an easy task. Going down there, that's a tough place to go and get a dub. And they dominated that game. They did it to Shaw. And still, look, what do I think about Shaw? I don't think any less of them after this game. I don't. I think they're in trouble against that in the car. And I know we'll break that down tomorrow night when we do our first segment of picks
Pigs,
tomorrow
baby,
night.
yes.
But if Shaw's going to win that game Friday night, they better elevate their level of intensity. They better elevate their level of play and play more competent defensively. I thought that they gambled it a little too much. Their DBs were going for jump balls when they didn't have to. Again, play the man. Why are we playing the ball? Watch the receiver's eyes. When he looks, you look. When he turns, you turn. What is this about? Well, if I jump before he jumps, I might get the ball. Man, quarterbacks know how to put balls on a dime, man. Play smarter. That's what I thought I saw. And to me, Aug was the better team, obviously. I mean, there's nothing you could say that suggested that Shaw would have won that game. The way that game played out, St. Augustine was the better football team on Friday night. No shame in saying that if you're a Shaw alumnus, which I am not. But I don't think any less of Shaw after this jamboree. I still think even if they do lose the car in week one, they're going to be just fine. They're going to be just fine. They will work out the kinks. They'll get things right. And we just still may see them in New Orleans in December.
All right. We're going to move to the other game that happened before Archbishop Shaw.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we have to.
I mean,
We have to. And
I know we do.
Yeah,
Torture chamber.
that's John Errett versus
And
Brother
Brother
Martin. Yes.
Mhm.
So Brother Martin opened some eyes for me, be honest with you. I wasn't expecting to see what I saw offensively, even though I saw it in 7-on-7. But what I saw offensively with set to Zet, throwing the ball to Easton Royal, Rex LeBlanc, and the other receivers they have, I was impressed. I was impressed. Now we know John Ehret, they got some work to do still. They got some work to do. We do have John Ehret winning the district still. We think they're going to win their district. But all in all, on both sides of the ball, John Ehret has some work to do to get better. And Coach Rogers and his staff, they're going to do what they can do to make it happen, to make that happen. Because John Ehret has talent, and that talent has to practice harder, play harder, and they got to get better. They got to get better. But Brother Martin did open my eyes some. I was not expecting to see what I saw from Brother Martin. VK.
Oh man, Brother Martin Crusaders. It basically, we knew how that Brother Martin was gonna come out, pretty good. They came out firing, but I think they did what they were supposed to do more than anything else. Played fundamentally and did very, very well against an inexperienced John Ehret team. And then on top of that, a John Ehret team with not a lot of depth.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Brother Martin just took advantage of it and everything. And, you seen some bright spots from John Ehret. You seen some bright spots that they're going to have to really focus and use that to try to spark them Thursday night against Chalmette more than anything else, which I really think it's an even matchup between them and Chalmette after what the Chalmette Owls, what happened to them on last Friday night. So regardless of the fact, I think Reggie Rogers and the Patriots got work to do. But we seen some good things from Ehret, but Brother Martin, they just dominated the majority of the game and set the Zet. You could just see right then and there that the experience of him at the quarterback slot is really going to help the Crusaders this season.
GP. What up, Coach Fig?
Where do we start with this one? As an Ehret alumnus, I am
Hold
fed
on.
up.
Let me stop you right quick before you go. We do have a question. Devin asks, who pushes Ehret in their district? I'll go first, then George, you go, and VK go. I'm going to say Riverdale. I think Riverdale pushes John Ehret in their district. Who you got, George?
I'm gonna let VK take this one first.
Okay, go ahead, VK.
I hate to say it. I'm gonna agree with Jared, man. I think Riverdale and Coach Wallace, I think they really got some, and they still got some experienced players from last year, improved Riverdale squad. So I think Riverdale probably be the team to push Ehret.
The
Right,
same Riverdale that got beat by 35 in the playoffs to John
Yeah.
Ehret,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yep.
That's the team that's going to push Ehret. That tells you how much of a gap there is in this district. If Riverdale's the team, all right, Austin, let's bet. Let's bet. My window's wide open, son.
Go
If
ahead.
you
Go
want,
ahead.
if you want
Go
some.
ahead.
Anywho, I think by default, Riverdale is the team that's going to push Ehret because they do have talent, and Wallace Foster is a good coach. I think it's his first year there, so once they figure things out, in the pre-district, I feel like that Riverdale will be that second place team in the district. But I don't know if they'll push Ehret. I don't really think there's nobody that could really push Ehret 48 minutes in that district based on gaps of talent. But talk about the lack of depth. And that was very much noticeable in this game against Brother Martin. And Seth said is a nice quarterback. He put some balls in some spots. But again, the Ehret DBs showed their immaturity in that game, jumping for balls they didn't have to. And it's the common theme this weekend, what we've seen. Defensive backs are sitting there gambling. It's like, man, I'm watching Mike McKenzie back in the day when he was with the Saints, and Green Bay. He was a cornerback that had the lightning speed, but he was always gambling on footballs. It's like, dude, are you serious? Name the number. That's all I'm going to tell you. Name, not number. Name the proposition.
Go
But
ahead.
what I saw in this game, John Ehret, I'm gonna put that school on notice right here, right now, because the narrative cannot be we're gonna get our brains beat in the non-district, roll the district, and then get punked in the playoffs. No, this narrative has to change. John Ehret is by far the best public school on the West Bank by default, because West Jeff is just a complete mess. Higgins is nothing. Yeah, you could talk about Pat. I'm talking about at the highest level. John Everett, y'all got to get it right. There's stuff about and I saw a lot of undisciplined play in that game Friday against Brother Martin. Take nothing away from Mark Bonice and the Crusaders. They were better. Simply put, they were better. Yes, Everett is inexperienced, and that pre-district schedule, Chalmette first,
Jefferson
Landry.
Parish, DJ. Jefferson Parish is what Joe's talking about, not Orleans. Go ahead,
Exactly,
Joe.
not the state. Not the state, DJ. Worry about 35 this week. That's all you need to worry about, and how that Mack truck might be coming for you. Just saying. Just saying.
Oh, let me let's move on. I watched this on YouTube. Edna Carr and Landry. That was one I
Mhm.
watched, and I watched 35 and Easton too. So I'll talk about that for a little bit. But I'm gonna start with Edna Carr and Landry. Edna Carr was able to do what they wanted to do offensively. They were. You know, my boy Hollywood John Johnson was able to throw the ball wherever he wanted to. Um, Manchild got a touchdown, I think, on a punt return. The running back, I keep forgetting his name, and they told me it's 1,000 times because he was moved from receiver to running back. I keep forgetting his name, but he looks good at the running back spot. He looks so good. My goodness, he's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a problem. The only thing that shocked me, Landry was able to run the ball in the car a little bit. They didn't score, but they did have some success running the ball a little bit on Edna Carr. So I know Edna Carr coaches saw that. They're gonna try to have that fixed for this Friday night game because it's a better running back they coming in town to face than Jasper Parker. So they're gonna have that. I'm sorry they're gonna focus on that. But saw that tape. Landry had a little bit of success running the ball. That shocked me because I didn't expect to see that. And I saw Landry double team Richard Anderson, who's a hella fine defensive tackle, also who's going to LSU. He got double teamed in that game also, and that's going to happen throughout the whole season when you that great of a defensive tackle. But Edna Carr, man, offensively, is what we thought. To be honest with you, 35 in Easton was a good game. 35 had some chances they couldn't capitalize. It was a close game. Easton looked good. Easton looked good, but not the Easton that we're used to seeing. So they got some work to do, and it's possible we may see that Easton team later on, and as they get better and better throughout the season. 35, I like their quarterback. I really do. I know they lost Santana from last year, but 35 got a nice little quarterback that can throw the ball. I really do like him. And they got Ja'Kai Anderson, who's going to LSU in a couple years. So 35 weren't too bad. They stood toe to toe with a Warren Easton team, lost 14-7. So I was kind of impressed with what I saw with 35. You want to know how 35 looks? I think 35 can win that district. They got athletes on the field, they got talent, and I can see 35 getting to the quarterfinals again. And depending on the matchup, they may get to the semis. I really can. With the Lafayette schools are out, they're gone. So it's wide open for Division II select. Most people are going to say Shaw, Kennedy, St. Charles Catholic, Edie White, and ULAB are the favorites. Yeah, but 35 you can throw into the mix also. Do y'all agree with me or don't?
I can definitely agree.
1 second, VK. Thank you, Coach Johnson. Coach Johnson is watching us on Instagram. He says that is Bryant Sanchez, the running back for Edna Carr. Yeah, he's a problem. He is a problem. All right, VK.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think 35 can make another run again this year more than anything else. And you have to think about it. You have to think it is kind of wide open outside the 4 or 5 schools you just mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the schools have moved up more than anything else. I think Frank Daggs is looking for. I think 35 has a little bit of momentum after the run they made last year. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to keep it going more than anything else. And you have to think this 35 program overall has been unbelievable for the last 20-some years now, since the great Wayne Reach took over that program. And when I say elevation, 3 semifinal appearances, 2 out of the 3 could have won and got to the dome. But hey, what else you can say about that? But for that program to come up from what it was in the 90s, Talman Gardner, some great talent, but not enough coaching, to a great legendary coach that turned around programs like a George Washington Carver and a Washington Marion to come to 35. And then Frank Daggs continuing the tradition, who was under Reese and trying to do what he can. And right now he's making the team his own now more than anything else. And he's looking to try to have a big, huge bounce back year after that comeback second half of the season for 35.
All right, GP, you want to add in something right quick?
Sure, about the 35 game and the car game. Look, first DJ.
Oh, about
Last year,
35 in Eastern or Car, yeah.
okay, well, first DJ won. LCA didn't run from y'all. They abused y'all in the playoffs. So I don't know where you're going with that nonsense.
No, he,
All right.
he's being comical because they went down
Well,
a
I know he
2-8.
Yeah.
is.
He's being
But be
comical.
real, man. LCA didn't run from y'all. They're just saying they hung, what they hang, 60 something on them last year in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
they beat the brakes off that team last year. But anyway, no, let's talk about 35 and Easton. It was a competitive game, 14-7. Easton wins it. Easton's lack of experience is going to hurt them early, but that's a team that I'm looking forward to seeing later. Only 3 starters back on both sides of the ball. I feel like Jerry Phillips is going to figure some things out, take these first few weeks to kind of mold and kind of build a little bit of an image of what this Easton team is going to look like. But I'm going to tell you about Warren Easton. Last year, I know this ain't the same team, but last year they demolished 2 state champions last year. Went to Ruston, hung 49. Went to Catholic and put 63. Y'all
They're not
forget.
ranked. They're not ranked, Lil Chad. John
They're
Evans
not
not ranked in 5. No.
at all.
His question is,
At
where's
all.
John Evans
Not yet.
ranked in 5A? They're not ranked. Go ahead, Jordan.
They're
Sorry.
not. But you're good. And you're good. But Easton, it was a competitive game. 35. I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring. Um, you mentioned the quarterback. I didn't watch the game. I mean, I read recaps and stuff around and all that stuff. Um, I think they'll be fine. Frank Dax is going to get that team right. Are they in that mix that you're mentioning about the fact that Turlings and STM and wait, Turlings is still there? No, they're all
Nope.
three are gone, right?
They're
All three are gone.
all three are
Okay,
gone.
so yeah, LCA goes down and Turlings and STM go up.
Yeah.
CB1. Okay. Do I think that 35 is in the mix? I don't think they're as good as the 4 teams in front of them, but they're not that far back. I think if this quarterback matures and really gains some confidence and this team builds and, gains some momentum, I think they're a team that can be a problem in the playoffs. Again, it comes down to matchups. Now to the car game. Look, car is going to be what they are, what they're going to be. Sanchez, the running back that you mentioned, John Johnson, that's a dynamic combination. Shaw's got some work to do Friday night in that game. Carr's defense, yeah, Landry from the 20 to the 20 that you're mentioning, Jared, that, they got some gaps and they found some gaps. Maybe you look at that tape and say, I got Jasper Parker. I got a Division I commit to Michigan. Better than quite frankly, better than what Landry's got. Okay, so if I'm Shaw and Hank Tierney, I'm dicing up some film and looking at that thing and saying, let me see if I know my guy can hit those gaps, but I need my offensive linemen to do their work and get better. But Carr's gonna be fine. I mean, look, Landry is Landry. I mean, they handled that game, and look,
I think we all picked Carr to go to the dome, right?
yeah, we did,
Okay.
we
All right.
did, and if we're gonna talk about other jamborees, one that you brought up, Jared, before we move on. Union Parish beating Calvary Baptist in their jamboree. Paul Spatafora might have another a solid squad up there.
Yeah, I ain't saying that until they play in the regular season because they in the
I
same
agree,
district.
but I mean, you beat that Calvary team. Who look, I made the argument that they might be the best team in the state, regardless of class. Doesn't look very good when you lose that game. So let's move on.
All right, let's move on to some upcoming games. And week 1 has a bunch of outstanding games. I want to
Hmm.
start. I want to start right here on the West Bank of Jefferson Parish. Edna Carr comes to town to take on Archbishop Shaw. We're not picking games tonight. We are picking
Nope.
games tomorrow night. Show starts at 7:30. Our special guest will be West St. John's football coach Deron Thomas. He's going to join us right here on the Hash It Out show. And then after the interview with him, we would do our picks. We just gonna talk about what are the key things in the game. I'm gonna start with Carr and Archbishop Shaw. Number one for Archbishop Shaw, gotta fix mistakes they committed last week. Cannot give up deep passes. It cannot give up gap assignments on defense, and they got to get off blocks on defense. That's the main thing. And the car for them mainly is to stop the run for Archbishop Shaw. That's the main thing. Stop the run. Offensively, get the ball to your key players. Sanchez, Mitchell, Teron Francis. That's the keys. What are the keys to you, George?
For that car game, I
Carr and
mean,
Shaw. Yep.
for Carr and Shaw, that's simple. Offensive line, I just mentioned it in the last. Shaw's offensive line is going to have to neutralize Carr defensively and get Jesper Parker some early gaps and early runs. If they could do that, that sets up Mason Wilson and the rest of that offense. And I think if they, like I said, if they get Parker going early, they're going to be in a good spot. But how do you coach against that speed that Carr's got on that side of the ball? That's a different dynamic matchup. And if you're Shaw, Hank's going to have this team prepared, but I don't know if he's going to see a team like Endicott after week one the rest of the year.
Okay.
They are that team this year, guys, and we picked them for a reason. This might be their best team since 2020 that can get to the dome. And Bryce doesn't have to worry about finding a pocket spot. He could just charter the bus there.
Go ahead,
So,
BK.
Like I mentioned, the key is for the running game to be established for Shaw, and the defense has got to find a way. Everybody keeps talking about man-child Francois, but they got to watch out for Oliver Mitchell, who's really coming up. Mitchell, Deshaun Smith, and Anthony Thomas, Floyd Jones. Like I said, one of the deepest wide receiver cores in the state of Louisiana. These guys are that good. And not just that, it's depth everywhere. Now, the defensive line giving up some runs against Landry might be encouraging for sure, but we will see. But I think scoring is going to be important for Shaw tomorrow. They need Friday. I'm sorry, Friday. My bad. Scoring's going to be important on that Friday game. If they come with the mentality, and we talked about this last year, Jared.
There you go.
I
That
said it
finger
against.
again. I'm gonna break that finger. Go ahead.
You think you is Steven Seagal? Yes, indeed, bro.
You know who I am? Do you know who I am?
Seven-time world champion.
Can you beat Steven Seagal?
Can I beat these ago? Yeah.
Okay. I believe you. I won't see it though. I believe you, but I won't see it. But I'm gonna stop pointing because I don't want you to break my finger.
You mean like that?
Now you need to break his finger. Now,
oh damn, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this, dog. I'm gonna say this: the run game. I'm saying they have to score. Jared, I remember I told you this last year for the Karen Crow game, and I said Shaw got to score if they're gonna win this game, and they did, and they won. So Shaw gonna have to do the same if they're going to stay in this game. I'm telling you, if Shaw going to stay in this game, run game's important, but they better score because Carr is bringing the tank, they're bringing the sink, they're throwing everything at Shaw. So
all right,
they're on a mission.
I do.
Hurry up,
I do. I have one idea for our picks tomorrow night. Consider this when you put the list out for us, Jared. Let's each, for bonus points for our picks this year, whoever our best bet is, and our underdog of the week, best bet and underdog of the week, put that as extra points for our picks to make it more instead of the standard 1 point for every. I mean, obviously the 1 point for every game, but let's do a best pick of the week and an underdog of the week, and if they win, add some points to it.
I will try to remember it, but I got a lot on my plate right
I'll
now,
remind
Joy.
you.
I'll try to remember. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to Rummel and Lafayette Christian. Lafayette Christian comes to town. This ain't the same Lafayette Christian as last year.
Nope.
But there's a lot of talk about this new quarterback because people are saying Michael Vick left, and now we have Lamar Jackson. So
That's a hell of a comparison.
yeah, for real. So that's what people are
Hmm.
saying. For Lafayette Kristen, you have Jalen Noel at running back. To me, Rummel has the key on stopping the run game, the read option also between Jalen Noel and the quarterback take it off. They're gonna try to pass the ball to you know that. They're gonna try to throw it, but I think more of the offense falls on Jalen Noel and the quarterback.
Hmm.
Lafayette Kristen, I just think they're playing a big team. They've done it with STM, but they lost a lot, and they're gonna have to play sound integrity football. Don't get beat deep. Don't let the running backs for Rummel get outside of you when they're running, and you got to tackle and gain tackle. Pretty much it. If you want to be Rummel this year, go ahead, George.
I feel like for Rummel to win this game, and look, we're going to pick these games, guys, tomorrow night. To those of you in the chat, we're just giving you a little bit of analysis.
They know. We already
Um,
told them.
yeah, we know. But that said, if you're Rummel, if you're Nick Monica, if I'm your Rummel defense, make them one dimensional. Put the game in Walker's hands and take Jalen Noel out of the equation. Make him a non factor. Rummel has the defensive capability to do that. They do. Schematically, make Lafayette Christian one dimensional. If you do that and take Jalen Noel, who is an absolute weapon for them, make him a non factor, make him irrelevant, then Rumble stands a reasonably good chance to win this game. Plus, LC's got to travel. They got to get on that bus and come down 2.5 hours. So that could be different, a little bit affecting. And with a new coach, we don't know what he's going to do in a spot. This is a spotlight game. It is. It's Rumble, a semifinal team that quite arguably, had the weather not did what they did what it did, they were 14-14 to Baton Rouge Catholic. And if that game doesn't get moved to Saturday, maybe Rumble's in the dome because they did everything right in that game. They did everything right. They neutralized Catholic, but the reset happened when the weather hit. And when the weather hit, Catholic got their bearings and they were able to win that game, but Rumble still stayed with them. I think Nick Monica's team's going to be in a good spot Friday night. Lafayette, but that's a big key, VK. Take Jalen Noel out of the equation. You do that and force a first time starter to win a football game on the road, then the Raiders, it stands to reason, have a good chance to win.
I think I can definitely agree with that. The run game is going to have to be key. I think General Buggage, the quarterback for Rummel, just needs to come out there, stay poised. I think his experience continues to grow and grow. I think he's going to have a big game on Friday, possibly. But at the same time, he's got to stay poised. The run game with Norman Normal, he can run it very well. The offensive line, especially the offensive coordinator, Joe Chango, who has done a really great job under Nick Monica. And I think if they could just like nice long drives and everything, keep Lafayette Christian off the field. But the defense, more than anything else, I would just stay in your run lanes for Braylon Walker. But at the same time, send some blitzes early. Send some blitzes, set the tone. See what Braylon has. But not just that, have a spy, most importantly for him. So he won't really act a fool on the field. So it's going to be interesting to see on Friday. This is a true test for both teams, but more for Lafayette Christian because of the fact of the long road trip and the transition with the new coaches.
Yes, yes, Kenny, it's true. I read that today on CrescentCitySports.com, and as you can see, Cheese also knows it's true. All right, guys, here's one for you, and this is at Destrehan. Destrehan hosts Catholic of Baton Rouge, and for me, if Destrehan wants to win this game, the O line has to block number one and give Jackson Fields time to throw the ball. He didn't have any time against St. Augustine to throw to those receivers that he has. Number two, the D line got to get a good push to get to the quarterback, and your DBs got to be able to cover. They got to. That was what we saw against St. Augustine. So that's the key for Destrehan if they want to be successful against Catholic of Baton Rouge. George.
It is very monumental for Destrehan to play way better than they did from 2 weeks ago against the Speed Demon team in St. Augustine. Now you got the Catholic Bears, a reigning state champion, coming to your house. Protect the house if you're Destrehan. And Jackson Fields, y'all, if
Yes,
y'all haven't
he's
seen him
gone.
play,
He's gone, Cheese.
yeah,
He's at Louisiana Lafayette. And
yes,
yes,
he is.
Kenny, I meant to say that Shane Ward, the starting running back for Destrehan, is out for
Destrehan,
the Destrehan is out for the season with a knee injury. And
yeah.
supposedly Jabari Mack is the one that they moved to running back. Supposedly that's what I was told, but I know Shane Ward is out. All right, George. Sorry.
That is a gigantic loss for Destrehan. You know, Shane being out for the year, that's going to hurt them badly. But the break is that Catholic has to break in a new quarterback, and it's on the road in a hostile environment, Destrehan. That is a still hostile environment. Nothing has changed. Look, I don't want to put too much into what St. Aug did to them 2 weeks ago. I don't remember what they did in the Jamboree last week. Um, Destrehan, I didn't catch that result. Um, but I think Marcus Scott's going to have his team ready to go and emphasize, hey, look, that's a state champion we're playing. We could really make a statement if we win this football game. You know, we can really make a big, bold statement. It's in our house. We're not letting this team come in and blow us out. We got to get it. BK, I think if Destrehan stays true to their identity, um, okay, that's wow, low scoring game there.
It
Huh.
was. Yeah.
Okay. Luncher's got a good defense, though. I mean, that we know. But VK, I think Destrehan, it stands to reason that I think they have a legitimate chance at this. If they make Catholics inexperienced at the quarterback position, the story, they have a chance. But they've got work to do.
Destrehan's got to really punch them in the mouth from the jump, especially defensively. They're gonna have to punch Cadlick in the mouth from the jump, set the tone defensively. If they can do that and take some pressure a little bit off the offense, and eventually when Jackson Fields and that O line gets it together, and you said Jabari Mack will be a running back. Hopefully he can give
That's what
them
I
a
was told.
spark. If he could give them a spark offensively and make some plays and everything, that will help Destrehan a lot. But that defense is gonna have to help Destrehan win that ball game on Friday. If Destrehan gets it done Friday, that is going to be huge for Marcus Scott and for the Wildcats going forward. And like I mentioned, regardless of the fact that tough non-district schedule, some people kept on criticizing the non-district. Nah, they got a tough one this time, and this one could really help the Wildcats here.
All right. Terrebonne and Riverside. Big gap in classifications, but I'm gonna tell you this: two good running backs, two good running backs. But which running back are they going to be able to stop? That's the question. You stop one, you're winning. Plain and simple. Riverside O-line got some size. They got some size for a 1A school or 2A school. I don't know which one they are, but one of the two. But you stop one of these running backs, whoever can stop the running backs, that team will win. George.
Couldn't say it any more clearer. Dedrick Lasty, VK, and I saw him against St. Martin's in the quarterfinal, and then we saw him back in the dome against Southern Lab, and Lasty is explosive, extremely explosive. That dude is he's that guy. Yeah, exactly. I was about to. That was the next thing I was going to mention is about Riverside's line. You mentioned it, Jerry. You touched on it. They look like a 5A team, offensive line wise. They do. I mean, they're big. They're nasty. Terrebonne. If you're Riverside's defense, I forgot the kid's name from Terrebonne. Take him out of the game. Put him out. Take him out. Just focus on him and force their quarterback
Celestine.
because Celestine.
Yeah.
But force them to be one dimensional if you're Riverside. I think Riverside's got a real opportunity here. I really do. I think Lee Roussel's team is going to be really stacked up and ready to go, VK. And I think Lasty, it's his last go around. And they are going to play with a fire in their belly. They are going to play with a purpose because they had a chance to win state. Southern Lab was a little bit better last year. But Riverside's going to be playing with a little bit of a chip saying, you know what? we were close last year. Let's finish the story this year.
I really think this is going to be, like we mentioned, two great running backs for both Riverside and for Terrebonne. I really think that I wouldn't be surprised that this game could be a shootout more than anything else because both teams can score the ball. And we know what Riverside has back. And I looked at a couple of highlights at Terrebonne. They didn't look bad at all.
Yep.
So I tell you, this is going to be a ball game. Riverside has a great chance of winning. But them Terrebonne Tigers and Tyler Lewis, they ain't about to lay down and they ain't going to give
Nope.
that game to Riverside. So I think that might be, honestly, maybe the game of the night on Friday.
Ooh, okay. Moving on. Let's go up north a little bit. Where is this game at? It's in Shreveport. Neville goes to Evangel. Evangel back in 5A. And I'm just going to say it. If Evangel wants to win, they got to get off the field on defense because we know Evangel does not have a lot of depth. They got to make stops on defense and get out, get off the field, and put the ball in Peyton Houston's hands. Neville, you want to beat Evangel? Keep defense on the field. That's it. Tire them out. Plain and simple. Go ahead, George.
Punish them. You just punish them with their physicality if you're Neville. That's how you win that game. And I think that game is in Shreveport Friday night. I believe Evangel's hosting that game. Peyton Houston, I'm excited to see what that kid can be because there was a lot of a lot of talk about how he was the heir apparent at Calvary and he didn't want to wait. Now he's at Evangel. Guess
You
what,
remember
young man?
that conversation we had when I picked you up one day and I said, you think Peyton Houston, who's already ranked as the number one quarterback for his class in the nation as a dual threat or pure pocket, one of the two, because Elijah
Mhm.
Hayman's the other one, both in the state. I said, you think he's going to wait behind
No,
Abram Ward for 2 years?
no, we knew that. We both knew that because we
Yeah.
had that chat on the way we were going. I forgot what game we were going to that night, but yeah, I was like, "There's no way." All right, Charles Allen. Charles Allen, you messing with that juice again? Come on now, cut that out.
Go ahead, man.
They might push him before the game starts, And look, we'll pick this game tomorrow night. Obviously, this will be on the picks, Evangel and Neville.
Yeah, that's right.
But the two contrasting styles. I think Evangel will throw the ball with Peyton Houston. I feel like they're going to show his wares because he is that dude. But y'all forget, he's got wheels too. He can run. So Neville's going to have a time. But if Neville's going to win it, shorten the game. If you're Neville, VK, shorten the game, and that means keep that Evangel defense on the field and move the ball. 10 play, 11 play drives. Tire them out because you do not want to fall behind that team. If that team is what we think they can be, VK, Evangel's going to be a big problem for some people this year.
I think Evangel possibly could be a major problem for these teams this year. You know what I'm saying? I think Neville, if they're and right here, you can say more than anything else in this matchup in general, and I know we're gonna pick it tomorrow. This is a return to glory game for both of these teams because of the fact of the matter is Neville did had some lean years in almost these last 8-10 years. Then they had some lean years. It's not been the great Neville. Evangel then had some lean years, and they're starting to come back. This is a return to glory game for both teams. So if Neville, they gotta set the tone on the road. They gotta take chances. They gotta go play action. They gotta set the tone, score first, and to let Evangel know we're here. We're not gonna let you walk all over us. We're not gonna let you take it from us. For Evangel, knowing, okay, we know how Neville is. There are people thinking, oh, yeah, Neville's still, we're superior and everything. Okay, we've beaten West Monroe. We have beaten Ruston. We've beaten these programs before. You're not the exception. So for Evangel, they got to set the tone too with Peyton Houston. Not just the fact with him running and throwing, but the offensive line got to protect, and the defense got to set the tone too. So either one, I think this is going to be a great game tomorrow night. I mean, this great game on Friday night. Friday night. Great game on Friday night. I got mixed up again because it's Tuesday. But regardless of the fact, I think those are the key strategies in this great ball game coming up on Friday.
Everybody watching on YouTube, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on X/Twitter, hit that follow button. You watching on Instagram, hit that follow button. Moving on, guys. We're going to Ruston now. Acadiana goes to Ruston. Ruston has to stop that veer. Acadiana has to stop Joshua Brantley. That's it. That's the keys, pretty much. George.
Can you break it down any clearer than that? Because that veer is one of those offenses that, in the words of the late great Hank Stram, you even got to matriculate the ball down the field. Translation for you youngsters, Gen Zers, it's move the ball down the field. Just saying. Acadiana's veer is going to have to be successful. That's going to keep Joshua Brantley on the sideline watching. That's what you want to do if you're Acadiana. If you don't have success with the veer, and Ruston decides, okay, Joshua, let's cut loose. And this could be Catholic of Baton Rouge, Acadiana once again. Could be what Catholic did. They ranked, what they ring them up for? 64 points in the dome, I think.
It was a lot.
54. It was a ton. But VK, you can't get any more clearer. You can't get any more clearer than how to break this down. If Acadiana Veer is able to gain success early, this could be a football game. But if it's not, and Ruston gets ahead and forces a run team to try to catch up, this could be a very long night and a long bus ride home for Acadiana if Ruston is able to dictate tempo.
I think what you two saying is on the money. And I have nothing else extended to say, but it's gonna be, man, two contrasting styles coming up on Friday night. Like they said, what they said, the biggest, what they said about the unmovable object against the
irresistible force.
The irresistible force versus the immovable object. So that's what you're gonna basically have in this game on Friday night. And I think more than anything else, this is more of a huge game for Acadiana to try to get
absolutely
a start to the season and trying to make a statement early, because it's been a while since Acadiana had a hot start early. So they're looking to try to really set the tone and try to bounce back after what happened in that dome. So, but at the same time, y'all strategies are on the money. I can't say nothing else.
All right. John F. Kennedy, I think they go to Scotlandville. Yeah, John F. Kennedy goes to Scotlandville. This is easy for me. Who can stop the passing game with the other team? That is it. Kennedy gonna run the ball a little bit, but they both gonna throw. Excuse me, they gonna throw. That's who will be able to stop the passing game of the other team. Oh, no mind. Coach Trey says Scotlandville comes to Kennedy. Thank you, Coach Trey. I appreciate it. I'm looking at y'all schedule, and that bottom part, that home away, trying to match that just confused me. That's all. But Scotlandville goes to Kennedy. All right, George.
Here's the key for me. Kennedy, let's see the maturation level. Can they win a big road game? Remember,
no, they're
at home. They're home.
Oh, it's at home. Okay.
Yeah, Kennedy's home.
Okay, so this changes the dynamic and the narrative a lot then, because I thought if that game was at Scotlandville, the key I would have said was, Kennedy wasn't mature enough to win big games on the road or games against comparable opponents. They lost at St. Amant last year, but now they're home. I think Scotlandville's, I know we're going to pick this game tomorrow night, but Kennedy is replacing some people, but they still have your guy at quarterback, Darrensburg, who's a stud.
Yes, sir.
They still have speed on defense. And I think that is going to have to be key. And Linares L-Page, I think he's going to have his team focused and ready to go. Scotlandville is looking for a signature win to start the season. And what a big fish this would be to take down Kennedy, considering Kennedy is one of those teams in Division 2 that has a very reasonable chance, VK, to make it to that second weekend in December in New Orleans. There's some pretty interesting X's and O's involved, but the storylines here are good. But I feel like just on the surface, the Cougars have the advantage in Scotlandville. The Hornets, if they're looking for a signature win, this would be a very good place to start.
Scotlandville had a couple of lean years in itself. It's been a while, and Scotlandville looking to try to bounce back. So they're gonna have to really set the tone, and they're gonna have to have a great start to that game. They're gonna have to have a great start to this game on the road, hostile environment. And I really think, and I tell you one thing, whoever's on the scoreboard operator, be ready because that
You'll be
scoreboard
busy, huh?
is gonna be lighting up. It is gonna
Hmm.
light up a lot on Friday night. But I really think if that Kennedy defense sets the tone and they make some stops and they slow down Scotlandville early and everything, and Kennedy wins big, it could be something to really look at because we know what Kennedy is capable of doing offensively, but the defense last year was pretty young and came together late.
They did.
This defense could, if they set the tone, this is going to
Could
be,
be a problem.
it could be a big problem. So we'll
The
see what
only thing with
happens.
that defense, when I talked to Coach Elface, he lost his whole D line from last year.
Oh, that's the
So
only.
that's the only thing. All right, guys. Um, Moving on. Union Parish taking on North DeSoto. Union Parish got to stop the pass of North DeSoto. Got to stop the pass. Luke Delafield up there, and then you got to stop the run in Union Parish. There you have it, George.
But Union Parish showed you in the dome that they could throw the ball a little bit too. So Spatafor sprinkled in a little bit of the pass last year.
Like two,
I
three
still
plays,
think,
maybe.
yeah, but still though, they were able to hit those plays too. They were able to hit against St. James in the dome, and that was one of the in look. Union Parish, what do we know about them? They pound the pill, they run the rock, right? That's what they say.
Yep.
Delafield is a very good quarterback. We saw him in his 8th grade year in the championship game. And they lost that game to Lutcher,
Yeah.
you know. And look, Lutcher was just seasoned and ready to roll in that game. But North DeSoto, after a little bit of a hiccup last year, I think Dennis Dunn and company are going to be a big problem. Good coaching matchup with Spatafor. I like the dynamics of this matchup. The complete contrasts of run v pass, like Acadiana Ruston. This is another game that's key. If UP can't get off, but you see what Union Parish did Cavalry last week, a team that can throw it and run it. I know it's a jamboree, but Union Parish could be a problem, VK. And North DeSoto's going to have to come with the focus to be able to stay within the game plan and hit their marks early and basically make Union Parish chase the game. Make them chasing, get out fast, get ahead 10 points or so, 14 points. If they do that, that could take Union Parish out of their element, which is to run it. That's going to be, to me, one of the keys. If the Griffins of North DeSoto get out fast, could be a long night for Spatafor and Union Parish.
And Union Parish hosting, I believe that they're the home team, right? If they're the home team, this is a very huge home game, raising the banner, the state championship banner over in Union Parish and everything else. I think Coach Spat is
they at North DeSoto.
North DeSoto. Oh, okay. What a way to start the season. You got to
Yeah.
go up there and everything. I think Coach Spat is definitely going to have them ready, playing no fear. They're going to
Yeah.
set the tone and run that ball very, very well. But I think you mentioned what's the name? Luke
Delafield.
Delafield. I really think him and Dennis Dunn gonna be on that same page and everything else. It's gonna be interesting to see. And I think if Dennis Dunn is going and North DeSoto going to send a serious message, they got to do it and they got to set the tone early against Union because Union's coming ready. They're coming to play, man. They're coming to play. It should be another good one. I mean, week 1. Wow, there's a lot more great matchups than we thought.
Oh yeah,
Week
Charles, you pick one, bro. You pick which one the best matchup because we have too many. I mean, too many. It's just a great week. Week 1 is just loaded. All right, guys. As we move along, I'm trying to still look at these matchups, see what we have. Still looking.
Let's get to our picks tomorrow.
Yeah.
I gotta say this.
I'm with you.
While you're looking, I figured out why VK said Wednesday night. he's sharing the same excitement that the three of us are. Is that the season is here and we just can't wait to get going. So honorable, honorable. I'm
Because
ready.
because we saying them keys and it's good. We saying it's good. We doing the breakdowns. It's just the fact that we don't want to slip too much, and all of a sudden a pick come out, and it's like, oh,
Yeah, we don't
give
want
it
to do that. You know,
away,
we're
oh, give it
we're
away, yeah,
measuring our words. It looks like.
yeah.
Cheese, you must have missed the show that was just about the running back class for this year, VK. The running backs, hey, Cheese, this is phenomenal. We talked about all these running backs. There's so many. All right,
Geez,
I
you
got
gotta
two
go back.
more. Yeah, you gotta find that episode. Just go on my YouTube page and you're gonna see the running backs. I got 5 running backs in the picture. That's the episode. I got 2 left, guys, and then we get out of here. Opelousas hosting Turley's Catholic. Opelousas is said to have the best, the best. Well, I guess I got 3 left. The best defense in the state. They bring back Zachary Malvo and Deshaun Ford. Can you stop that offense, Turley's? Can you stop it? And then Turley's gonna run it in and throw it also, but that Opelousas defense is something special. And let me something else, George.
Opelousas has an early advantage in this spot with that defense coming back and with Ford. Ford, I mean, what that defense did, what that defense did to Cecilia in the Superdome was just magnifying. It really was electrifying to watch when you look at how dynamic Cecilia was coming in. Um, and Opelousas basically put the cuffs on him and double knotted him. They fit him for tightness, and that was that. But Turlings, here's one thing they do not have: Preston Welch. They do not have him. He's gone, so they got to break in a new quarterback. And against that defense, could be a very, very, very big problem for Turlings. Now, that's a good football team. They're good. Sonny Charpentier is a good coach. I'm sure he's going to have his guys dialed in, but there's some disadvantages in this game, VK, that if Opelousas is able to take advantage of early, could be a problem.
You mean Dane Shapache?
Dane Charpentier said Sonny.
Yeah,
Dane,
yo,
you're right. Thank you.
Sonny is an athletic director over at
Yes,
Turlers. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
So it's all good you mentioned his name. All respect to the Sapanche family. But
Absolutely.
yeah, but I think knowing Dane, he's gonna really get them prepared. They're gonna run the ball and they're gonna have to run the ball from the jump, but run it in ways that I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't be surprised they can go ahead and test the secondary. Go ahead and test that secondary
Oh,
offense,
Lord.
see what they got. But if they ain't got nothing, run the ball. But GP finish.
That man is tripping.
Austin, you're funny, dude. You're funny. But I really think it's gonna be, it's the fact Ken Turlins come in and do what they can to stay in the ball game. That's the biggest thing, especially with a young squad, because that's a huge ask going into Opelousas and trying to get a
Yep.
huge win against the defending state champs who
And a
won their
banner
first
rising.
Banner Rising or their first state championship. So that's a
Yep.
huge ask. But they got to come out and play with no fear. That's what I can definitely say about Turns game.
All right, here we go. STM going to Karen Crow. I'm gonna tell you right now, you gotta contain Chance Babineau if you STM. Don't let him get outside. Keep him contained in that pocket. STM, you gotta stop everything. The run, the pass, it's just phenomenal across the boards. So you gotta prepare for everything. Just can't prepare for one thing. You gotta prepare for everything when you play STM. George.
There's some athletes in this game. You mentioned Chance Babineau for Karen Crow. But STM was able to neutralize Jawan Johnson at points in that championship game last year. Jalen Noel didn't have the get off game
Man,
that
the
they
pick
needed.
six changed the whole
It
game. Come
did.
on,
It
George.
did. I get it. I know. I get it. I hear the excuses. Okay. I hear it. You know. But I feel like St. Thomas More, and look, here's what we find out about Cole Bergeron. because they've been hyping him up in that area, talking about, he's got the prototypical quarterback size. He's got a really good arm, live arm, and he's got good wheels. No, he's not Jawan Johnson. No, he's not. But you're asking that? No, that ain't happening. But Karen Crow, the Bears are going to be a very good football team through the season. Just and I think right now when you look at it, VK, the sum of the parts says STM has the advantages because of what they have. Um, I'm looking at Jesus' comment. That's why I'm looking. But I feel like St. Thomas More. That game is at Karen Crow. You said, Jared?
It's at Karen Crow, the Crow
Yeah,
Dome.
St. Thomas More answers the bell in road games, and Karen Crow. This is going to be a tough test, but I think the line play in this game for Karen Crow, the O line play, is going to be key. I feel like to get Babineau off, to get Babineau going, that O line's got to hit their blocks and be able to seal and do their jobs. If they do that, Karen, it's a pretty good chance that Karen Crow could pull this thing out.
All right, BK.
Okay. I like I said, I agree with everybody what they're saying more than anything else. Karen Crow's running game is going to be really, really key to slow things down for STM. We know that STM is going to be ready to play more than anything else. It's going to be interesting what team we pick tomorrow night. Because this is another huge game. More than anything else. STM, another banner like they say they on the road. This is a true rivalry game, and anything can happen in the game more than anything else. But for Karen Crow, like STM, they look at it, and even fans look at it. It's just another game, probably. But for Karen Crow, this is huge for them because they've been on that cusp the last couple of seasons, and they've been had. So now, is this the time you want to make a statement saying that we the team this year in the area? It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but the contrasting styles will be the thing tomorrow night. I wouldn't be surprised.
Friday night.
Friday night. Good God. I'm sorry. The scoreboard operator is going to be at work on Friday. He's going to be at a big time work. He's going to be
He's going to get his cash, huh?
Big dollars for that game on
Yeah.
Friday night. I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of points will be on that board.
All right, I got two more guys. Well, I really got three more. So let's try to do this quickly. Okay. St. Augustine, McDonough 35 on Saturday. 35. Get the ball to your playmakers as best you can. Get the ball to them, and get the ball to them quick. Get the ball to them quick because Jakeem Stewart is coming. Jakeem Stewart is coming. You might have to double and triple team Jakeem Stewart. Just let you know. Put an extra tight end. Defensively, they got some good DBs defensively. So cover your guys and stop the run game. But what can you do offensively? Can you stop that St. Augustine D line from penetrating and getting to your quarterback? Go ahead, BK. Because DJ, I mean George. Go ahead, George. Because DJ waiting on you. He waiting on you, bro.
I know he is. But I'm not picking. We're obviously not picking the games, DJ. So sit tight, my boy. We'll be with you tomorrow night, and you'll know. I don't know. They did. We were there too, the three of us.
No, he says you keep saying it. That's what he means. You keep saying they had 71.
How many points did they? Well, it was 70-something points, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what he said.
I mean, he don't want to. Hey, humble pie, DJ, learn it, my boy, because it might happen again this year. I don't know about 70-something, but I'm going to tell you, Vashawn Kula on the quarterback. I said this earlier when we talked about the Og and Shaw jamboree. That kid's got a live arm, and I like what I see. If the maturation process starts here on Saturday night, I think that's a night game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That game is at night, 7:00 at Gormley. So I think it will be pivotal to see where this young man is on Saturday. But if Shaw's offensive line couldn't block Jakeem Stewart and that D line for St. Aug, what makes me think 35 can? I mean, not to we're not giving anything away, but that is going to be a very big ask for the Run Eagles offensive line. And then they got to break in a new quarterback in this game against St. Aug.
I like him
So,
though. I like him.
yeah, I mean,
I
yeah,
like him.
he has a makeup, but again, game experience, big game experience. He has not started a high school game yet, and that is a tough ask, VK, against that pass rush of the
Oh, well,
Purple Knights.
let me say this. You say he's not ready because he hasn't started a high school game yet, but Peyton Houston hasn't started a high school game yet either.
I know, I know, I get it, but but Peyton Houston's not going against Jakeem Stewart and that St. Aug defense, so that's going to be a tough ask. We'll see. We'll
BK.
see. I feel like the kid's got promise. I get what you're saying, but what I saw last week is unmistakable from St. Augustine. That's what I saw. That's based on what my four eyes saw. But
Go
you
ahead,
know,
BK. Go
I,
ahead.
I get what George is saying, but the pressures are, I hate to say it, the pressures are similar. Because you have to think about this. Peyton Houston making his first start against a Northern rival.
Well, DJ say their quarterback was 2-0 last 2 years ago when Santana was hurt. So
That's interesting.
all right, let's go.
You see, but I think it's similar because of the fact of the matter is, what I'm saying, Neville is not they're not what they are, but at the same time, it's still a big game and Evangel trying to get back in it. But yeah, you're going to get Jakeem Stewart. It's a lot of pressure in itself, But 35, they got to really play. They got to play with no fear. They really got to play with no fear on Saturday because like that old song, you can't stop the rain. So I'm not just stop. I'm just joking. But at the same time, it should be interesting early, but 35 has got to come in when playing. They got to come in no fear and play with no fear because the intimidation already going to be on that field. So they just got to come in and it's like, we don't care about what happened in scrimmage. We don't care what happened to you. All we care about is us handling our business on the field and everything else. We remember what you did last year, and you ain't gonna do it to us again. That's the mentality 35 need to have on Saturday to come out and give St. Aug a fight all the way to the end. So that's what they got to do. St. Aug, they know that they got it. You got to turn up another notch. We've seen what did he get at Destrehan? They raised it up against Shaw. Now you got to raise it up against 35 in game one. That's the keys going into Saturday.
All right, last one, and we're done for the night. Let me make it a little bigger because I'm trying to see. Okay. Oak Grove Tigers versus Calvary Baptist, two defending state champions going at it. For Oak Grove, for Calvary Baptist on defense, you have to stop Jackson Bradley. He's just a big, bruising, running quarterback. 6'3", he's about 220. He's a big, bruising, running quarterback. Gang tackle him and get off the field. As far as Oak Grove, you got a lot to prepare for. Not just who we all think is the best running back in the state in James Simon, but Abram Wardell throwing the ball to those receivers. You got a lot more to prepare for.
You just said for Calvary. You just said Calvary. You just said Oak Grove. Oh, Calvary Baptist. I thought you said Oak Grove.
I said
you had to prepare.
I said Calvary Baptist on defense has to prepare for Jackson Bradley.
And
then I said Oak Grove has to prepare not just for St. James Simon, but the passing attack for of Calvary Baptist as well. GP.
Interesting dynamics in this football game. Jackson Bradley punished. Was it Haynesville last year? I think in the championship.
Haynesville, yeah.
I mean, they're still wiping the tire tracks off of that game. They're still wiping the tire tracks off because, man, I saw that dude Jackson Bradley just make mincemeat out of them last year. We all did. This is a different animal though in Calvary with Wardell, with Simon, with the receiving core that they have. Calvary's defense, if they're going to be better, this is the game to make a statement because you're going against a guy in Bradley that I don't know if he's being looked at yet, but he better be.
No,
that size is
Cheese, I saw him. He's not that much of a thrower at all, man. I gotta disagree with you on
Bradley.
that one, Cheese. Yeah, nah,
No,
nah.
he runs it though.
Yeah,
He
he can
won't
run
be a
it.
quarterback at the collegiate level. I don't think he's going to be a quarterback. He's got the size to be, but I'm not sure. Oh, really? Well, that's
I
why Sonny Company's going to get fired if he's going to recruit him as a quarterback. So
I ain't gonna
um,
lie.
That's not nice. That's not nice, George. That's
I know
mean,
I'm being,
man. That's
I know
mean.
I'm sorry.
I ain't gonna lie. I seen some film on Bradley. Bradley's not bad of a thrower. He's
Yeah,
not
no,
bad. He's
he's
really not
He
bad.
punishes you
he
with
is
the
not a
legs,
throwing
VK.
quarterback. Not at all.
No,
He
he's a
is not a
runner.
throwing quarterback. He's just a runner. He's a
Well,
big bruising runner.
well, we might see a little more of this shit. Just saying, because
We might.
remember, Oak Grove is known going to the air, more to the ground. Just
Huh?
saying.
When?
Ben, go look at the Penn State
You saw the championship game?
I was at the championship game
That's why
last
I
year.
asked you if you saw it.
I seen it too.
That's why I asked you. What they did?
He
They
called
just
that
ran.
game.
Hold on.
He called that game, JB.
Hold on. I called it. Hold on.
You was in the booth?
I'm not listen. Okay?
Here comes a VK take.
Oh, be quiet, George. Look, I'm talking about that was kind of surprising what I seen because we knew Bradley when we seen the game, very bruised and running and everything else. They didn't throw the ball too much. That's a rarity for Oak Grove.
And Austin. Oh wow. That's cold
In
blooded.
one lifetime, Austin, do me a favor. Go look at the past Oak Grove State championships and show me what kind of offense they run. You go do that.
It's easy. It's a running offense.
Oh, they throw the ball, fool. What are you talking about?
Oh man,
Oh,
why
man.
the name calling now? He called him man a fool.
Oh my
Jeez,
God.
he getting upset.
Wave that finger now. Wave that finger now.
Come on, man. You know Oak Grove throws the ball.
Watch this, baby.
They usually run
I
it.
know what Hoss
but they're
Memphis is. I'm just saying.
Oh man, because
I'm playing.
Oak Grove in the past. Usually, like Austin, they run, they throw the ball a lot more.
Man, cheese. That's cold.
Hold on. Do you
Oh,
want me?
damn,
Do you
that's
want me
cold.
to go? You know what? Do you want me to go put up
Please
some
do.
links so you
Please
can
do.
go? Can you go take a look at it? Because
Go ask
Put
Vic down,
it up
Ripple.
on your Facebook page or something, man. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm gonna put it on my Facebook page.
All right.
And tag us.
Yeah, I'm gonna tag y'all.
All right.
Tag y'all.
Go ahead, baby. Finish what you want to say. Go ahead.
About the game.
Yeah, about the game, the
about the
matchups. He meant 80-20.
80-20. Yeah. 80-20.
Go ahead, man. Come on.
You telling
We
me?
can go.
Well,
we can go home. Come on.
You know what? It's gonna be a great matchup, man. I had enough of this, man. I'm done. I'm done.
He done.
I'm done.
Stick a fork in him, JB. That's it.
I'm done. I'll be ready for these picks tomorrow. I appreciate some of the information, but I don't appreciate the haters up in there tonight. I'm good.
They not hating, man.
I'm not talking about y'all.
They fact checking you, dude.
We
Fact check.
all just
fact
disagree
checking.
with you. It's okay. I mean, Cheese disagreed with me about Jackson Bradley. It's cool. Man, I mean, man, it's okay, bro. Everybody not going to agree with you. I mean, it happens a lot, but I'm just saying.
Oh, jeez.
This is the type of show it is. That's what it is. Hash it out, right?
Yeah, that's right, baby. Hash it out show. Look, everybody. We thank everyone for joining us tonight on the Instagram, on the X, Facebook, and here on YouTube as well. We thank each and every one of you. We are back tomorrow night. Our special guest is West St. John head coach Deron Thomas. He's going to join us tomorrow night. And after we are done with Coach Thomas, we will be picking games, ladies and gentlemen. We are picking games. Y'all know y'all love that so much. So we're going to pick the winners of certain games. Our Hash It Out Show game of the week is John Eric taking on the Chalmette Owls. That game is Thursday night. You can catch it on my YouTube channel, JB the Sports Guy. We will start pregame at 6 o'clock. and then kickoff at 6:30. So you don't want to miss it. If you're not going anywhere, doing anything, go to the JB the Sports Guy YouTube page, and then you're gonna see that game happening with the pregame starting at 6. VK, you got any last words before we go?
Well, good night
That means
tonight.
no.
Good. Look, you know what? I'm gonna help them out. Okay, I'm gonna trust it. You know what? I'm gonna do y'all a favor. I'm gonna do y'all one favor tonight. I'm gonna go back and look at these state championship games from Oak Grove in the past, and I'm gonna see if y'all all right. Because I watched football for a long time, and my eyes might have been deceiving. So I'm gonna go look myself. You might be right. So I'm gonna go look myself just to give you if you're right. I'm gonna admit it tomorrow night. I'm a man of my word. That's the thing about me.
That you are.
And I'm a man of my word.
That you are. I'll give you that.
Exactly. So good show tonight. We enjoy what we do. We'll be back tomorrow with picks. Can't wait till Thursday.
Go ahead, GP.
How do I follow this? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, but I'm gonna check. I'm gonna ask VK's Kryptonite here in a few minutes when we get off, and tell him because he's the one that knows. And talk about your dog, right, JB?
That's
you
right.
know what I'm talking about. That's
sure
right,
do.
fellow alumnus.
Right.
But no, great show tonight, gentlemen. We are at the throes of high school football season, just less than 2 days away. We will start Thursday night. I can't wait. I will host the pregame with you, JB and VK at 6. And at 6:30, VK, you got the mic for the play-by-play of John Everett and Chalmette. It promises to be an interesting affair. A lot of dynamics in that game. And hopefully the weather is good because I'm looking at the weather forecast. It looks like we're going to be in for potentially a rainy night because tomorrow we have a 90% chance of rain. And I saw Thursday 60. So I don't know about the timing about Thursday, but we'll see. Look, neither rain nor sleet or snow can stop us from giving you the Hash It Out Show Game of the Week, Week 1 on YouTube. KB, a sports guy. Check it out. You got 3 pros in the booth for Week 1. We will rock and roll. We will take over things and do this game and give it to you in our special way. And to all the people that commented, especially the ones that are fact checking VK, man, thank y'all. Y'all are the reason we do this. You guys, because we put the product out there for you. We do it for you. And we are looking forward to this 15-week journey that starts Thursday night. 14 games for us. And of course, the Dome, where all 3 of us will have integral parts. Oh, you coming to the West Lake? Oh, I can't wait to see you then, DJ.
Yeah, DJ coming. Yeah, he coming.
Okay, good. I get to
DJ
take
go
his
to
money.
games. He go to games, man. His son don't play till Saturday, so he'll be
There
somewhere
you go.
Thursday
Look
and
at Kenny
Friday.
with the facts. Look at Kenny with the final fact check of the night. 406 on the ground. So where do they throw the ball? Maybe on the sideline.
We're gonna leave BK alone.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's go leave alone. All right.
Well,
All right. For VK Jones, for George Peppers, I am JB the Sports Guy. We are back here tomorrow night at 7:30. Everybody that's been on here tonight, make sure y'all back again and tell your friends and tell your family to join us also.
Like, tag, and subscribe. Come on back.
They'll be here.
That's right.
They'll be here. They
back.
Yeah, good. Y'all take care.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Thank you for watching the Hash It Out Show. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.